Hello and welcome to another episode of Patents TV. I'm your host, Jeff Bond, and today's episode 58. It's also our featured vendor presentation. Patents has partnered with Kadant Assistive Technologies, a valued added reseller solutions provider, for a number of years. Kadant is excited to promote a new product they are offering as a distributor of SmartEd. We would like to introduce you to their software and tablet solutions, which can be purchased through Kadant Assistive Technology.
Hi, my name is Sammy Rahman and I'm the CEO of SmartEdPad. What I thought I would do is I would do a quick video for you about what the SmartEdPad is. So the SmartEdPad is an entire system that you install on on an Android. In this particular case, it's a Samsung Galaxy. But you install it on the system, and then we take over the whole system. So the first thing you're going to notice is when I hit the home button, I stay within the SmartEdPad environment. I do not leave the SmartEdPad environment. So the second thing you're going to notice is that as I scroll from left to right, you're going to see language apps, reading apps, social skills, articulation, AAC, which is Augmentative Alternative Communication, and you'll see that there's a nice little button down here, and I'll get to that. You're going to see books, early learning, writing, puzzles, arts, math, games. You're also going to see SmartEdPad apps, system apps, and user apps. And what's important about the user apps is any app in the Google Play Store you can bring into our environment and you can control it. So why is controlling apps important? Well, so the first thing you'll notice is there's lots of apps, and that's a great thing. But working on the right app at the right time is what is going to promote learning. So one of the things that the SmartEdPad allows you to do, unlike a default tablet, either Android or iOS, is within a very short amount of time we can create a custom view for a user. So let me show you how we do that. So under SmartEdPad settings in the upper right hand corner, I hit the little cog wheel, and I can type in, this happens to be the administrative password, so I'm an administrator on their system, and I'm presented the SmartEd settings window. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take all of those apps and reduce it down to a subset of the apps that would be important for my learner, and we call these views. So I'm going to hit Manage Views, and you're going to see on the left hand side, you're going to see Default View, John's AAC Pad, a Speech Pad, Kindergarten Pad, Fun and Activities, and then you're going to see a custom view that I made. So let's just go into Kindergarten Pad, and I'll show you the difference between the default view and the Kindergarten Pad. So notice that immediately I only have 2 pages of apps. I get the language, the reading, social skills, and the beginning and early learners. I get some writing apps, I get some basic math apps, and I get a game. And that's it. That's all I see in the Kindergarten Pad, and you can notice that it's up in the upper left-hand corner. It says Kindergarten Pad. So the idea here is you create views to control the learning environment to get the most for that learner. So let's create a view for a learner. So I'm going to log into my system settings, and I'm going to go create a view. So let's create a new view. So I'm going to hit the Create New View button. And what you see here is that when I hit the Create New View button, everything is blank. So along my top, I've got Filter by Age, and then I've got Filter by Category. And instead of seeing, because this is designed for special education, the categories that we have here are ones that are specific to special education, like sensory, right here, if I select sensory apps. So if I want to look at what sensory apps are available in the system, I can hit the Customized App button. So I selected Sensory, and then I get the Customized App button. And I can go through and look at apps. And none of the apps are selected for Sensory, and that's because I did not select an age range. So we filter based on cognitive age range. So if I've got an early learner, 0 to 5, I select 0 to 5, and then Sensory, and Customize Apps. Now I get 3 apps that are sensory-based apps that would allow me to work for 0 to 5 learners. And I can click on Free Flow. I happen to know that's a game. So in this particular case, FreeFlow, it works well for 0 to 5 cognitive and 6 to 10. It also works well for motor skill, pre-academic skills, attention, reading skills, sensory, and recreation and leisure. All right, I'm going to go back. So let's say I want to create a view with more than just sensory apps on it. Let's say I also want to do one with motor skill and maybe some pre-academics. And that would be consistent with a 0 to 5 learner. I want to customize those apps. And now I get a much bigger, much longer list of apps. I've got 1, 2, 3, several apps here. So I want to see what Sound Touch is. So I tap on Sound Touch and it tells me there's a 6 sections and it explains what Sound Touch is, and it tells me it's pre-academics and attention and expressive and receptive language. So this is important. It's also under the category of beginning to early learners if you look in the upper right hand corner. So this is good. I like this. So this is a view I want. So I'm going to go back. And I want to save this as a new view. So in the lower right hand corner it says save as new view. So I want to save that. And I want to make this, let's say my user is Johnny. And we're going to say this is early. Whoops. So this is Johnny's early learning view. I click OK. And then it asks me if I want to if I want to share the current view, if I want to use it as a current view, and so I'm going to select yes. So what happens is now I'm in Johnny's view, and I have language beginning early learning, I have text to speech, I have writing, I have some puzzles, I have some language arts, and I've got some math and some games, and then I've got some relaxation stuff. So what's great about this is I can then go in these apps and use these apps. Now, let's say I want to add more to this, and I want to start doing some testing with Johnny. So I'm going to come back to Manage Views. I'm going to add articulation to this, and I'm going to come in here. And now I've added a couple more apps like Animal Sounds right there. You see the Animal Sounds app. So I've added this for articulation. This is language development. So I'm going to add that to Johnny's view. And I'm going to come back here and I'm just going to hit Save Changes. So now I have saved that and I'm going to use that view. So now under language I've added articulation. So let's say I want to start doing some testing with Johnny and I want to do some data collections against Johnny. So I'm going to go under the Animal Sounds app and it'll launch the app. I can quick start, which will automatically put me into the flashcards, or I can set the flashcards up for testing, which is what I want to do here. So I'm going to hit the start button, and I'm going to add. I'm going to go to Student Tracker, and Johnny's not on my list. Sorry. We're going to pick Jeff for a second. We're going to look at Jeff's goals. So these are Jeff's IEP goals. So I have the IEP goal and I have a description of the target of that goal. So I want to pick Jeff. I'm going to add Jeff. And we're going to test against Jeff. So Jeff's in my database. So I'm going to select Jeff. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, do I really want forest animals? Do I want all the animals? That may be 200 and some animal flashcards. Do I want to create a new set, a subset? Or I just want to work on articulation and test articulation, so I'm going to select that. And we're going to do R sounds. So it happened to be a set that I've already created. So I'm going to select next. And then I'm going to set the flashcard up and test. I'm going to set the flashcard up. Now, if you turn off the title or the description or the audio reinforcer, then flashcards, you can even turn off the pictures within the flashcards and do text only. So you can take a learner who doesn't know anything about the flashcards, turn everything on, use it in learning mode, and then do testing at various stages. So I'm going to set this up for testing, so I'm going to leave testing mode on. Show footer, I'm going to turn that on. I'm a therapist and I want to record the audio session, so I'm going to turn that on. I do want the shuffle cards on, and I want to show the card number. So that's perfect for me. So I'm going to click OK.
Woodpecker's drum.
All right. So I get an audio enforcer here that says Woodpecker's drum, and I get a picture of the woodpecker. So I can test Jeff on this now and say, Jeff, make the woodpecker sound or make the drum sound. And notice that there's a little icon here, right over here, by the right over here on the right hand side under Jeff's name, that is a record button. So I can record this session. So if I'm a therapist, I can do a push-in session to a student, we can record it, and I would save that data for later. Or if a therapist gave it to a teacher to do, they could record the session and the therapist could review it later. So I'm going to go ahead and click Who's here. And what I'm going to do is for speed, I'm going to turn the sound down. And I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. So I can test on grunt, and if Johnny got it or Jeff got it, I can click OK, click the check mark. If I didn't know if Johnny got it when I was doing the testing, or Jeff in this particular case, sorry, if he didn't get it or I didn't know, I can put the squiggly lines. And if I know he didn't get it, if he didn't get the hummingbirds, I can mark it as not gotten. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, selecting different ones, just sort of in random order so I can show you testing and recording. So we've gotten to the end of our session. Got to the last one. Do I want to save the session? I do want to save the session. Do I want to map this session to the goal players? Remember, we had pulled up Jeff's IEP goals, so I definitely want to do that. And so here, what I have is the number of correct answers, the number of incorrect answers, and the number of possible answers. The first thing I can do is I can score Johnny, or Jeff in this particular case, and Jeff did excellent, so you guys did excellent, Jeff. And then I can pick language. We did language goal positioning, and we did identifying and sorting, and then I can add some comments there as well. And then when I'm done, I just click the green button, and now I have saved that information to the student tracker. So what is great about this is I just did a testing on Johnny or Jeff to establish a baseline, and that will then go up to the server. So we have a whole server section on this as well, which I won't show you in the demo. But note that the devices can be used off network, and then when they get back onto a network, then the data gets pushed up to the server. Okay, so that is data collection. So I've shown you the default view. I've showed you how to restrict the view. I've showed you that you can't get out of it. You can lock the device down. You can lock it down to one app. You can lock it down to 5 apps. You can lock it down to all the apps. You can open up to all the apps, but you're always in the SmartEdPad environment. I've shown you the SmartEd app, and I've shown you the different apps that we have, and I've shown you how to do data tracking against that. So this is really a device that has built for special education. Oh, there's also, I should add, let me go in here and show you some of the administrative functions. This device was designed to be used, all the data could be done and tracking can be done on the device, or it can be done, some of the data is, reporting is done on the server. So let me show you Student Tracker. Student Tracker allows me to let me log in. So this is my default work site. It shows me all of my students. It then can show me, and I can add more students. It shows me all my goals. I have to select the student. It shows me any lessons plans and any service level. So if I'm a school and I can create some service levels, like they have to go to speech once a week, that can all be put in there. There's a calendar. I can log and score here, and I can run reports and set up holiday schedules, and then sync everything up to the server. And then there's a server side button. I can always go to the server there. All right. Last but not least, I want to show you our AAC app. So this is a device that is designed to always be running. Notice that I'm moving this little icon around. And this is a full-blown AAC app. So I can be in a program like R Sounds. Let me launch that up. And I can be working with a user who needs an AAC app, or working with a group of users who need an AAC app. And so let's say one of those users needs an AAC app, or let's say we're talking about apricots, and the user who needs an alternative way of communicating wants to ask a question. Well, in normal device technology, you would have to exit out of this program, launch your AAC app, then use the AAC app, then exit out of that, and then launch your back to the program, and you'd often get lost. It wouldn't be wherever you left off. So let's say we're 3 slides into this in Blueberries, and one of my users has a question. Well, all they have to do is tap the little button, and up launches their AAC app. So let me turn up the volume here. So AAC is an alternative way of communicating, and what's nice about this particular AAC app is it starts with picture exchange and then can move up to, when I hit this little keyboard, it can also be in text mode. So I can create communication if I don't have literacy using pictures. So I'll show you that. So we're just going to get started. I'm going to hit the Get Started button. I want, and then let's say we were doing a thing like cookies, okay? And then if I tap on this, it will say, I want cookies. Now I have the volume turned down, but it would say that for the user. So this allows me to ask a question about the, about the blueberries, as an example. We could have a whole conversation with about the blueberries. And if I were literate, I can go in and I could type in what I want, and it would talk. I could say thank you as well. So it would also say thank you for me. Or yes or no, or whatever I wanted, depending on my level of literacy. And then when I was done with that communication, I could just hit the back button, and I'm right back exactly where I was to start. I don't have to unlock and relock and turn on guided access or turn off guided access. This puts the communication tool exactly where the user needs it at all times and makes it always readily available. So that's what's nice about this particular software. It has built-in AAC functionality. It has 100 and some plus apps that are K through 12. You can control and guide the user's access. You can, last but not least, let me show you I'm going to show you two more things. One is a communications tool. So I don't have any messages, but in the upper right hand corner there's a little triangle. If I had some messages, that triangle would flash and I could pop up and read some messages. The last thing I want to show you is I want to show you pushing a view into a classroom. So let's say I'm a therapist, or let's say I'm a teacher and I want to send a view home to a parent, or if I'm a therapist and I want to share this Johnny view with his teacher, or his parent for that matter. I hit the cog, the setup. I log in, and for me to share this view, it's super simple. I just hit Share View. I pick the Johnny view. It says, do I want to share it? Yes, I want to share the view. And I just type in the email address. And the user, that parent or that teacher gets the email, and if they have a device like this, that email has a key in it, and it'll automatically open up Johnny's view on that other device. And what's great about it is that any data that you collect on that view will go back to the database that sent the view. So if you have a parent at home that has SmartEdPad and you have a school that has SmartEdPad, and the school sends the parent a SmartEdPad view, instead of tracking against the parent's database, it'll track against the school's database. So a therapist or teacher later on can see all of the tracking that you did and all the testing you did with Johnny at home. So it's a complete system for special education. It's a complete platform of apps and an environment and AAC and data collections. So if you have any questions, please let us know. We'll be happy to show you more about the system and answer any questions you have. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.
Well, I hope you get a chance to check out the SmartEd products. And I want to remind you that April 23rd is going to be the Patents Tech Expo. It's going to be at the Wyndham West here in Indianapolis. And Glenda Thompson, our Patents project coordinator, is actually going to share some information on our next episode here, the first Tuesday in April. So we hope to see you then.